want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Over to You, a program for the people, by the people. This is the 8th day of August in the year 2026. I welcome each and every one of you to tonight's program. I must apologize for being a bit late this evening. We had some technical difficulties on my end here. Okay, I was forced to make some changes. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are here this evening. All right. There's no way that we were going to miss this evening. Lots to talk about. A whole lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. So, it's 18 minutes after the hour of 7. And I will try my best to make sure that I give you the time that the station would have required me to give you this evening, which is an hour and a half. So I will try my best to fit in an hour and a half this evening. I welcome everyone this evening. Due to the technical difficulties, we are not going to have a roll call this evening. All right. But the bottom line, Sharon Griffith and Hazel Johnson and Sandra Hanover and Desiree Simons and Deborah Pearson and Petra Gordon and Desiree Smart Felix, Althea Jones, Joy Hopkinson, Karen Clark, Lawrence McKenzie, Miss Brenda Casey, Miss Pam Halls, Uvorn Henry, Floretta Hamilton, Miss Mary Figueroa, Francis Keith Rycliffe. Hey, Francis, we're going to talk about Melanie Damashana this evening. All right. And we're going to talk about a whole lot of things. Darkus John is in the house. You know, I still got to call you guys out quickly. It's not going to just pass like that. Puran Ramdas, Region 2 is here. All right, good to see each and every one of you. Marcus Skinner, I see that you're in the house. Aileen Norton is here. Good evening. We're on the Tuesday in the house. I see all of you guys. Tyrone George in the house. Good to see everyone this evening. My brothers and sisters, it's so good to see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started this evening. Where do you guys want to start? All right, let's start with the government, the People's Progressive Party civic, quote unquote, government. I would say criminal organization, but let's go for what everybody else feel that they are, a government. I don't feel that they're a government, but nevertheless, we're gonna dig in here this evening. Community outreach. The targeted communities, primarily African-dominated communities. And I ask the question this evening, why is that? Why is that? All right. That's one of our first questions we're going to pose up this evening. Why is that? And I will explain. Charlene A. Moses, I see that you're in the house with Jamal Aziz. Good evening to you guys. Our executive producer, Mr. Gavin Caesar, is here. All right. government outreach. Really, ladies and gentlemen, let's ask the question. Really? Are we actually having government outreach in a time of continued mourning? Or is it the government outreach a complete disrespect to the families and to the victims of the MV Burima tragedy, where the government is trying to deflect, okay, what would have happened, all right, a little off of Guyana there in the Atlantic Ocean, where we have the MV Burima 87-year-old vessel still at the bottom of the ocean with what I would have, with what I would assume containing quite a bit of human remains for the individuals that we have not been able to find thus far. I say again, a pleasant good evening to the Court family. All right? That family knows what it's like. You know, some of us would call out and say, oh yes, business as usual. Those who feels it know it. The indigenous people, I call on the indigenous brothers and sisters. I see that some of you would have come out, but some is not good enough. Some is not good enough. Things can't be normal anymore. Okay? Things cannot be normal. This government going forward must not ever be able to sit comfortable. All right? And we see the start of that. But I say to all on sundry, while I am quite impressed with what I would have seen this week, it's not where you start. It is where you finish. All right? Remember, the race is not for the swift. It's for those who have the capacity and the capability to display endurance. And that's what we need to show, that endurance. And that would be my expectation, and I'm sure the expectation of most of you here, of the combined opposition. I want to give a big shout out to the APNU. While all the parties were there this week, I believe that the APNU, man, they stood up and they stood out. All right? Guys, you're on a roll. Continue working together. Continue working together. Put aside your egos. We have missed a great opportunity we would have missed back in 2025. Why? Why? Because we put the carriage before the horse, ladies and gentlemen. I have to, look, guys, I'm going to take some time to remind you of this, because we must not forget of the blunder of 2025, putting the carriage before the horse. There are steps to this thing. We can't start arguing, but if Deborah Pearson gonna get 2 slices and Eva Garnett gonna get another slice, and Wayne Caesar want 3 slices of the pizza for himself, and Brenda Casey coming in and say she want the whole pizza, and all of this stuff. No, man. We ain't gonna fight for the pizza before we even get it. Let's get the pizza first, and then we're going to determine amongst ourselves who is going to get what. We failed to do that in 2025. Okay? We failed to do that. You may want to know, well, Wayne, why are you going back to that? I must because it must not reoccur. It must not reoccur. That day, what would have happened in 2025 is one of the things that would have turned away people from all the parties, all on sundry involved. All right? And that wasn't fair. That was not fair. Okay? Now, we continue here. Our African leaders. Our African leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, I would have said this on quite a few programs before. You don't have to like the leader. But for crying out loud, for God's sake, respect the position. Why is it that we do the things that we do to our leaders? Why is it? Nobody don't call out and say, oh, Jack Dio's coming out of hotel. No, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when I see mediocrity, when I see a level of dumbness, I got to call it out. All right? I got to call it out. How do you expect to make any type of headway with these type of behaviors? How can we? How can we make any headway when we take our leaders and we toss them under the bus all the time? Thank you, Charlene A. Moses. It is the sad reality. It is the sad, and some of us are so selfish because we are in a good position where we can have a plate of food whenever we want to have a plate of food, but we don't think about those that are desolate. The children out there that their parents sometimes can only put 2 meals a day on the table. We don't think about that because we are innately selfish. We are innately coming on this blue app and the other apps, and we curse and we get on because we want viewership and we want likes. It doesn't matter what we do. We are not going to go anywhere unless we change our behaviors. All right? If you want to really be in the political realm, come into the political realm and bring a measure of professionalism with you. I understand that sometimes, yes, you do have to go into the gutter. I will not say no to that. The PPP go there, and if we have to meet them in the gutter, then we meet the PPP in the gutter. But we don't bring down our own leaders. Look, man, there's a season for everything. If there's a season for a specific leader, let him do his time, and then he has to go if he's not performing. He has to go. But when you tear down that leader, you are setting yourself up for when a leader comes along that you like, that you want to get out in front and promote. You think that people are not going to forget what you did to their leader? You think that people are dunce? People just want to act like if they're scared, but here, you're looking at the right one. You're looking at the right one right there. No fear whatsoever. Gotta speak it like it is. You gotta speak it like it is. And I will say this. To be on this platform, Bench Up Radio 107.1, and specifically the program Over to You, you have to show that you're qualified and you're ready to deal with the intellectuals that are on this program here. I don't have to get 10,000. But I have the people here that understands what is happening. And we can reason through what is happening. Okay? Again, I am tying back to what would have happened in 2025, where social media would have taken Comrade Norton and slander his name as leader. You guys believe that that was right? You believe that that was right? All you would have done is dug yourself a deeper hole. Okay? Because like the people them say, when you're done with all your ignorance and everything else, split the votes and everything else, 5 more years upon you. We got to talk facts here. 5 more years upon you. All right? Don't continue to seek out and criticize Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton is the problem here. Mr. Norton is not a problem here. Go and find the problem. Go and find the problem. All right? The biggest problem that there is the PPPC. That's the problem. And when you're looking to tear down people, you should be tearing down people who are truly ripping off the people of Guyana on a daily basis. Those are the ones you should be tearing down unless you're secretly working for them. Unless you are secretly working for them. Because these days you don't know who is who. All right? Africans are doing everything for a few dollars to undermine their own type, their own people. All right? They are showing and they are proving to be the weakest of the weak. Facts. We come out, we curse up. Okay, there's an audience for cursing. There's an audience for that. Right? They don't understand the dynamic of what is happening now. They are going through their day-to-day lives. All right? And, you know, whatever greets them, they'll deal with it as it greets them. They're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about today. Some are thinking about how many likes they can get on their program and how many people are going to like them. Well, here, brothers and sisters, I know that many of you here, you all appreciate me. And I'm thankful for that. All right? But I'm not going to come here, you understand me, and mince matters. We're going to come here and we're going to dig into what's happening. I want to say one thing with regards to look, we had protests all across the nation that I agreed with. All of them. All of them. They were necessary. All right? They were necessary. If the PPP intended to muddy the waters by saying that they are coming out with community outreach, what the combined opposition would have showed this week is that they're not having any of it. All right? They are not having any of it. And listen, that move by Dr. Campbell in Melanie with James Bond, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciated that. All right? Because that's my type of behavior right there in a nutshell. And probably more than that, worse than that. It's probably going to be worse than that. Okay? Look. What James Bond would have received at Melanie, he fully deserved it. All right? James Bond is a failure to his people. James Bond has his own skeletons that he wants to keep in a closet so that the PPP wouldn't throw all the bones out there for everyone. So, in a nutshell, for James Bond, it is damage control to undermine and to sell out his people. All right? It's a feather in the cap for James Bond to lead his people to the slaughter of the PPP. All right? Dr. Campbell depicted James Bond as being a house slave, and I am going to say this. I endorse it 1,000,000%. All right? And it is not just James Bond. It is Sherwin Holder, it is Prince Holder, and we could go on and on and on. I know Prince like talk. I know Prince come out and talk some stuff of threatening Gavin season stuff like that. But Prince, man, chill your head, man. You ain't ready yet. Go and sit down. Go and sit down, hold by. Let's show him by your rocking chair. All right? That's what you guys are. How can you guys leave? How could you guys leave from one party and jump to another, and within 24 hours the party that you left is so bad? You think that any of you guys piercing the hierarchy of the PPP? There is no place in the hierarchy of the PPP for a black man. No place. No place. Kwame McCoy, all of these guys play on the fringes. They take orders. You thought all these guys, orders. Ejil orders. That's why when everybody say Ejil and Indar must go, no, the whole PPP must go. Because Ejil got to take orders. Even if Ejil said, well, man, this boat shouldn't sail. When the orders come from above, he got to sail the boat. He got to sail the boat. Ejil ain't nobody. Ejil is nobody. Listen, I have said this. I am going to say it again. I am going to say it again to all the investors out there, to the diplomatic community. I am going to be lucidly clear with you guys. We want our country back. We want our country back. Guyanese don't want the PPP. We want our country back. The PPP is murdering Guyanese. We want our... Look, man, how can you take 3 men, 3 public servants, because they are serving on a vessel, okay, that is operated by the government. So therefore, they are public servants. They don't work for a private entity. They work for the government. This government just charged 3 public servants with 72 counts of murder. Because of what? Because of the incompetence of the same government that is charging them. How does that look, ladies and gentlemen? How fair is that? Look, man, I am waiting to see what counsel for these gentlemen, because these are massive lawsuits that we're looking at. These are massive lawsuits that we are looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Sailor 87-year-old vessel. It's not the guys to blame, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are looking and seeing that it's business as usual for the PPP. It is business as usual. We have to get rid of the PPP. And in the process of putting together our team to get rid of the PPP, we ought to respect our leaders, man. And guys, man, my brothers and sisters, please, man, do not hesitate to bell the cat when you guys see people are talking nonsense. I know my good friend Joy A. Hopkinson, she don't play with that. And there are quite a few more here that does not play with that. Brenda Casey and others, they don't play. Miss Maxine Monroe, they don't play with that. I agree with you, Holly Amor. Dr. Campbell did well. Yes, he did well. He did well. And listen, guys, I don't just want to highlight Dr. Campbell with what happened at Melanie. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, and I say this with a smile on my face. While Dr. Campbell was very, very impactful at Melanie, you see that gentleman called MP Sherrod Duncan? I am telling you, man, that man is a thorn in the PPP side. That man is a thorn in the PPP side. You see how that man had Bond when Bond coming out for go past the barrier? Mr. Duncan, I gotta find you. Well, you know something, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna throw a bucket of cold water on you. I want you to stay just hot how you are, just how you are. You're on fire, stay on fire. I want to give a big call out to my sister, Robin Simon, man. You understand me? Africans respect that sister. Respect that sister. It doesn't matter the time of the night you call with a problem, she's out there. She don't drive she own car. Every time you call she and she got shop, she got call a taxi, pick she up and drop she wherever she want to go. All right? She was on the ground screaming and fighting. That's a real fighter. That's somebody that you want to represent you in parliament. Right? It's not always about being intellectual. It's about having that ability, that yearning, that appetite to fight. All right? These days, it calls for politicians to be multi-dimensional. Yes, you must have the intellect. Yes, you would like to know that you're educated and everything. But you got to be able to go in the dirty gutter too. I don't have no problem with that. For a matter of fact, I might even be better there. You know, no problem whatsoever. None. So, Robin, I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much and continue to stand up and do this work. I know sometimes it can be very challenging for you. I know this. All right? I know this. But you're the one that is experiencing it. All right? Keep standing up. Maxine Monroe, Joy A. Hopkinson, you guys are needed. You guys are needed. There's a call for your service. Okay? There's a call for your service. All of you guys on this program, you've been doing your part. You've been doing your part. I was watching a program this week. I'm not going to be specific with which program I was watching this week. But all of you guys, your bums raised. And I ain't give you guys wrong. I ain't give you guys wrong. I'm in full support of you guys bums raising. Full support. 1,000,000%. Because this is your place. This is your place. Okay? All right. You guys, I know you guys get the point. Y'all are up there. Y'all got the point. Y'all got the point of what I'm saying. But we continuing, ladies and gentlemen. For there to be outreach at this time and a cancellation of the search and a procurement process for a team to lift that boat off the bottom of the ocean, it tells me that by the time we get the boat off of the bottom of the ocean, we will just be looking at bones. The flesh would be gone, and I agree with every Guyanese who is saying that we are not eating fish as of right now. I agree with you 1,000,000%. If I was living in Guyana, I would not be eating fish. And if you ask me, if I do have such a yearning for fish, I would be going to the supermarket and getting the saltfish that was salted maybe a month or two ago. And make sure I buy enough to store in my house in case I have an appetite for fish. But as of right now, don't blame the people. And ladies and gentlemen, don't allow no government to force you to buy fish. All right? Don't allow any government to force you to buy fish. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the oil front, it was announced that ExxonMobil would have recovered their 55 billion US dollars. All right, that was pushing up front to get the whole process of the oil in extraction started and everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that they have recovered, right, their $55 billion, you know what I mean now? It's supposed to be technically a 50-50 sharing agreement based on the agreement, ladies and gentlemen. That's based on the agreement. Sometimes you just got a little fine lines in there that will still require you to pay certain other surcharges amongst other things. All right. I think it is Alistair Rutledge, and I hope I am quoting correctly, that would have reached out from ExxonMobil and said that he's waiting for Barry Jagdeo, because as far as he's concerned, with this accomplishment, Barry Jagdeo should be dancing on his head. This should be big for Guyana. But I want to say this to all of you Guyanese on the ground. All of you, especially the ones that take the little $50,000, $75,000, whatever it is, when you get to the booth to vote, you collect the coins and you give away your vote. All right? Nothing is guaranteed with this PPP government. They know up front. All right? And look, listen, when we talk about 55 billion invested, this is just to the Stabroek block. And I think it's Liza 1. All right? It's not for all of the activity that is going on right now. Okay? It's not for all of them. It's just Liza 1. That one there is up. They've recovered what they would have put in. All right? I don't know what the shelf life is for that particular well. But the man, yes, Carl Miller, they want to know, they want to see BJ and not Ali. And I thought seeing that Vikram Bharat was the one in charge of natural resources, they would have want to see him also. But to know that they want to see Bharat, ladies and gentlemen, it paints the picture. Look, man, like it or not, I don't care if PPP supporters is here and looking and they're mad with me. The PPP is selling Guyana. The PPP is selling out Guyana right under the Guyanese people's eyes. All right? It's the absolute truth. There is nothing in Guyana that is fully operated by Guyanese. This PPP government, this outreach thing, this is not a PPP thing. This thing is coming from higher than the PPP. Y'all hearing me? This thing is coming from higher than the PPP. That's why I always take the approaches that I take, right? That's why I am always taking the approaches that I take on these matters. When you go and vote, you are not going and vote for who is going to run Guyana, because the government of Guyana doesn't seem to be running Guyana based on what I'm seeing. And listen, I want to say this. All right? The silence of the diplomatic community to the MV Burima tragedy, their silence is both deafening and maddening. Okay? Their silence is both deafening and maddening. And I quote the U.S. ambassador saying that the PPP will do good things for the Guyanese people by drowning over 100 of them while everybody remains silent. There is a deadlock with the Guyana Elections Commission right now. Why is it that it takes the Carter Center to come in and talk about what is right and what is not right. Is Guyana a sovereign nation? Is Guyana an independent nation? Is the government of Guyana a democratic government? From what I am seeing a dictatorship/police state in Guyana presently. I am seeing this government taking the Guyanese taxpayers' money and using it against them and not for them. How could a government be for the people when that same government is invested in bottled water and we can't get clean water through our taps? Fix the water coming through the tap. Don't force Guyanese to buy bottled water. That's dictatorship type behaviors right there. When you force the people to do what you think that they should be doing. And then you PPP supporters, y'all sit down there and y'all laugh and y'all skin your teeth when this government is not engaging the opposition. That's lack of democracy thereof. That it is proven now that Guyana is no longer a democracy. It's a dictatorship, and nations like the United States of America, Canada, the UK, and all of them always claim high-end democracy, democracy, democracy. Oh, you mean convenient democracy? You're meaning convenient democracy. Because the traits that are being demonstrated right now in Guyana is not that of a democracy. It is not that of a democracy. It more so aligns with a dictatorship. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you the question this evening. With all the protests that you have seen, that you would have seen across Guyana, was anyone hurt? Did you see anybody behaving bad? Yes, there were exchanges of words. That is normal. You can't stop that. That is normal. Why call in the Guyana Defense Force? Why call in the Guyana Defense Force? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys see why the top brass of the Guyana Defense Force is a man of East Indian descent. You guys are seeing now? Is the picture painted? Okay? That when the finger snaps. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this to this government. If you knew that you were doing right by your citizens, there would be no reason to have a preponderance of police and even calling in the army to protect what you guys call a president that cannot even show his credentials and prove his credentials. No, y'all starting because here what happened also. A PPP supporter came in online and start cussing me. So when y'all cuss me, this is what y'all gonna get. This is what y'all gonna get. All right, so y'all come and cuss me. Come and cuss me, and I gonna kill y'all government. Come, intellectually, kill them. Paralyze all of them. The PPP has no defense whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. All right? When we're talking about community development, it should be a collective. If we are truly a democracy, it should be a collective. Why do you have the ideas of the opposition sitting on the floor? Huh? Why do you have rent to own sitting on the floor? You hear Barry Jagdeo? We gonna build, yes, and we gonna build 1-bedroom houses, small 1-bedroom houses. But look who you got in Prattville on the black people them land. Yeah, we gonna talk tonight. We gonna talk tonight. Look what you have in Prattville on the African land. You take down the radio station tower. Okay? You take down the radio station tower. Hey, I'm gonna say this. Honorable Amanzo Walton, Desir, and Comrade Nigel Hughes, you guys are a big part of the reason why we're dealing with what we're dealing with today. Y'all say split the votes. All who said split the vote, y'all guilty. I don't care who you be. Split the vote, you're guilty. Split the vote, you're guilty. Period. I don't want to hear anything else. A 1-bedroom house for the older folks. Hey, first of all, let's get pension. All right, I've called for $70,000 since maybe 2020, 2021. It needs to be over $100,000 now. Don't come with $70,000 anymore. That passed and gone. It's time for Guyanese to live good. It is time for Guyanese to live good. Stop bringing people into the country to take away what belongs to the Guyanese people. Don't come here and tell me that they're uneducated. You as a government is responsible for making sure that your people are uneducated. And listen, you guys didn't care about that because y'all didn't pay our teachers. You think you guys care anything about education? Barjack, you fully well know what an education nation would do to an educated nation would do to this PPP government. You know. An educated nation would obliterate this government. All right? An educated nation would obliterate this government. All who said split the vote. Everybody who said split the vote, you're wrong. Take it or leave it, you're wrong. Support the leader that is there, win the election, and then y'all jump in the conference room and lock yourself out and inside there and decide how y'all gonna divide the pizza. Y'all put the carriage before the horse. I don't care who you be. I don't care who you be. Split votes. Look what the splitting votes have we. Look what the splitting votes have we. The AFC was offered so much and end up with nothing. Come on, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me say something to you. You could be so intellectually and so intelligent in specifically what you do. If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're an economist, whatever it is that you be. But common sense? Oh my goodness. You are so short on common sense. You are so short on common sense. Keith Beresford said, Wayne is the dollars. Yes, Keith. Yes. A lot of people took pay. Let me say this, and I will be pellucidly clear. And, you know, I don't even have to be clear because nobody don't contact me. They have sense. You can't contact me. I'm not interested in that. All I'm interested in is the truth and to see that the Guyanese people are able to live better. And they get the life that they truly deserve. All the floods they went through, all the different things, all the different neglect that these people went through. The government, like I would have said when I started doing political commentary, I said this government here is going to suppress the black communities, that when they walk into the black communities, the weak will come out and fall to their knees and bow to Ali. So said, so done. The weak did that. The weak did that, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. After enduring so much punishment, that's what you came out and do. Shortchange yourself and your children. You guys think that James Bannon, Utah, and Kwame McCoy, and Ed Hill, and Onage Waldron, and all of them, what the girl name? Tandai McAllister, and these, they're gonna lead you guys to the promised land. Where? They're leading you to the slaughter. What promised land? They are not in the real high-level meetings. They gotta stay outside and get whatever little crumbs they could get outside there too. Then they come out. I notice the PPP has a lot of hired guns now that really come out and really push out the disinformation out there. For the people who is there and wanting to bring down the leaders, the African leaders, this is what you should be doing. fighting back the PPP, fighting back the disinformation. That's what you should be doing. Not bringing down your own leaders. You're helping the PPP there. You are helping the PPP there. That's why sometimes folks will say that y'all just work for the PPP. But some of you guys, you can't go without hearing your name called. Your name got to call. Even if your name got to call because you come out and say something wrong about somebody or lie about somebody or undermine somebody, you're going to come out and do it just so that your name could call and you could remain relevant. No, man. Come and present honestly. You will always be relevant to the people. Come and speak the truth. Show that you're a true trooper. Not come out and face the people, and then when you turn your back on the people, you get behind them and you talk something completely different. You're undermining them. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Yes, Jamal Aziz, they're fighting their own. They're fighting their own. Ladies and gentlemen, soon enough, there will be a biannual Congress for the PNCR. Soon enough, there will be a biannual Congress for the PNCR. And this biannual Congress, this upcoming biannual Congress, to me, in my estimation, I don't know about you guys, but in my estimation, it is going to be the most critical of them all. I don't know if you guys are agreeing with me. It will be the most critical of them all. Holly Armour, Robin Simon, Eva Garnett, June Ross. Could you guys reply right here and let me know if you guys can hear me? Because I see somebody just put up no song. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me, because it's so important that you guys hear me. Very important. I'm waiting for your comment to know that you guys are hearing me loud and clear. Irita said, hopefully Leonard Craig and James Bond is hearing this loud and clear. Well, I would hope that they're hearing it. You know something, ladies and gentlemen? I have a family. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my children. I love my mother, my brothers, my sisters, everybody. I love my entire family. But let me say something to you guys, and I mean this from my own heart. I would never undermine you guys for a bottom line for my family. I would never undermine you guys for a bottom line for my family. You know why? It wouldn't do any good for us because of what I would have done in undermining you. When you come out and you want to say that you work for the people, mean it. Mean it. Demonstrate it. Show that love. Show that appetite to fight for them. Show it. Again, I say this to the international community. The people of Guyana does not want the PPP. You guys need to work with the Guyana Elections Commission to make sure that there's free and fair elections in Guyana. All right? We are not going to sit and wait for 2030. We are not waiting for 2030. We're going to protest GCOM. We're going to protest the courts. We're going to protest everybody from Harry right to Harry wrong. You will be protest. You will be protest. GWI, GPL, all of these entities should be protest because they're not serving the Guyanese people. PPP, and notice you are consistent with the choosing of your secretary over COIs. The same one y'all had for Mario Sadiq is the same one y'all got Bibi Sadiq nephew. Is the same one y'all got again for the MV Barima tragedy. That means that y'all want the results to be consistent. Y'all want the results to be consistent. Sadiq, the blood is going to be on your hands. All of those commissioners who are a part of that COI, we await your decisions. Oh yes, the African ancestors is going to be awakened on all of you. On all of you. The people shall no longer continue to play. James Bond, you got our ancestors rolling. All right, Leno Craig, when you guys made your decisions, you never thought of them. You don't think of coffee. You guys don't think of LFS Barnum. Nah, you guys don't care. This is our time. We got money to make. Well, we're going to see how far the blood money is going to get you guys. Because all that money is blood money. All that money belongs to the people of Guyana. All the money. Everything. Ali, your $5.5 billion farm, your 150 acres, that belongs to the Guyanese people. All right? Jagdeo, your little Pradoville city with the what again? The DPP who is a PPP? Right? That's what y'all said, right? The DPP is a PPP. Man, I like that little rhyme here. I love that little rhyme. It is absolutely on point. All of them live in Pradoville. Ancestral lands that they would have stolen from the Africans. Ancestral lands, Jagdeo. You are a thief. You are a thief. Okay? You went to Linden and you exit through the back door. Of course, backdoor story is the name of the game with you. Backdoor story. You like playing backdoor games anyway. You Kwame Alaya like exit there. Backdoor. Anyhow, let's continue. Let's continue. Robin, I didn't know we are talking leadership already. You mean as far as the APN you go, Robin? I am just anticipating that at some point that you guys are going to have a biannual Congress. And I would like to see what the structure of the party look like after that biannual Congress, because the structure, it needs to be strong. It needs to be a structure that is engaging to the people. All right. And listen, man, we need, again, I say it, we need to stop undermining our leaders. Stop undermining our leaders. No matter who they are, stop undermining them. All right? If it's somebody that you don't like, respect the position, respect the chair, respect the office. That's all. Oh, Robinson, not me. Okay, Robin, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Respect the office. All right, that's all I ask. Respect the office, because if you do not respect someone else's leader, you cannot expect them to respect your choice. Who are you? Who are you? Okay, who are you? So we have to wait to see who comes out as leader. And I know personally, you know me, I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you guys right here whether I support or not. I'll tell you guys right here, it will be public in a quick minute. Joy A. Hopkinson, what's going on in the comments? What's happening? What's happening? Is there somebody we need to address in the comments? All right, because I'll say this. Tonight, we are not going to tolerate any trench crappos tonight. Tonight is not the night for trench crappos. All right? We have gotten so much money thus far from oil. It's not like if Guyana have gotten nothing from oil. We have had budgets over the last few years totaling $7 trillion. Why is it that we are approaching a 60% poverty rate? I ask the question again. And this is what I want the diplomatic community to base their utterances on. Facts. Facts. Okay? Facts. Do not try to deflect away from the facts. 35% abject poverty. That's a fact. It's not Wayne Caesar's opinion. Base your utterances on facts. The people of Guyana has not benefited the way they can from Guyana becoming an oil participating nation on the world stage. Ladies and gentlemen, you know this world have not suffered the way it should have with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Why? Because they were able to pick up production in Guyana. It says 870,000 barrels per day, but I believe it is more closer to 1 million barrels per day. And if it's not there yet, we will be there shortly. All right? There are a few other FPSOs to come online. Right? We had what? Liza Phase 1, Liza Phase 2. 2023, we had the Pariah Project, Prosperity, FPSO online. 2024, Whiptail Project. Whiptail Project supposed to give us 250,000 barrels per day. Y'all see that? Yo, you guys know what that mean on the world stage? That's big time. And you know something else to boat with that, ladies and gentlemen? Look at the price of oil. $4.09 a gallon right now at the pumps. Regular. Guyanese are not supposed to be living the way they're living. All right? And ladies and gentlemen, look. I am very scared for Guyanese right now. I would even go as far, ladies and gentlemen. I would go as far as calling for a national government where all parties govern the country together as one collective. Because here what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. If they're going to get in there and they're going to do corruption, then everybody going to be gaining. All right? Everybody going to be gaining. It's not going to be ethnic corruption like we're seeing now. Like we're seeing now. That's what it is. Look at distribution of wealth across Guyana right now. Look at who have the large businesses. And the aim is to take the African and make them a consumer in their own country, setting a ceiling on the African Guyanese. You thought opening the borders and letting in the Venezuelans. It was an accident? No, that was by design, ladies and gentlemen. So that you don't have to depend on African labor. Yes, Miss Hazel Johnson. Yes, we could adopt to govern by constituency or with constituency. Yes. Yes. Yeah. We need something. Look, whatever it is, we need something. We need another alternative to what we have now. All right. What we have now makes no sense. All right. What we're calling a government is a group of thieves. You can't do that. You can't get a band of thieves and call them government. And look, some of these large economies, they have the intelligence and they fully well and know that they are working with the wrong people. They know that they're working with borderline terrorist organizations. You understand me? But they will do so to fulfill their bottom line. Their bottom line. And in the end, they want to come off like if they're the more caring. Like they really care for people. Now, y'all better listen up. Y'all better listen up. Because if we have done what we were supposed to do in 2025, we would have never been in this position. We would have never been in this position. But we failed to execute, which is typical. Which is typical because everyone wants the pie. Some of you on social media, you just full of yourselves. All you could talk about is I all the time. I. What about you? What about you? What's special about you? Let's talk about we the people. Let's talk about ourselves as a collective. Good evening to you, former Member of Parliament, Mr. Ernest Elliott. I know you very well know what it is like to be honest. Because under the late, great LFS Samson Burnham, you would have taken on so many projects, Golden Grove Playground, Victoria Playground, the President's College, and all the projects that you would have taken on. And in the end, you guys still had change for LFS Burnham. You guys did great for Guyana. I am proud of you guys. Ask yourself the question, Comrade Elliott, where is the growth after you guys? Where is it that we come together and we really express ourselves under our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny? Not because of the color of my skin, but I would more lean to say that the Africans in Guyana has leaned more towards that. And they have just been bent over backwards and used by others. Because the thinking, and those people that would have undermined our leaders last year the thinking is that the African is incapable of leading. And what did you guys do? You guys supported that theory in 2025. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of you who likes to come on, and I know you guys here, but I know the program is going to meet other people who likes to come on and listen to the cursing and listen to the ignorance, and it's not touching any policies, and it is not touching anything that's going to be helpful to you and your family. Well, this is the repercussions of that. This that we're experiencing today is the repercussions of that. All right. Guys, I just like, you know, when I come on and we are here, brothers and sisters, and we do this program, we must make an impact. It must be meaningful work. You know, I don't know how long. I'm going to let you guys know. I don't know how long I'm going to continue to do this because of what I'm seeing. Because of what I'm seeing. And some of the things that I'm seeing, I really don't want to respond to. All right? Because it's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be major. So sometimes I just think that it's best that, you know, I step away. And that day is going to come. I will let you guys know that day is going to come. But in the interim, ladies and gentlemen, in the interim, we got to come on this program over to you. This is your program. There was never a Saturday and Sunday. And you guys created a Saturday and Sunday. You guys made and built this program, not me. You guys did. And for that, I thank you. We must fight. The combined opposition, continue your protest. You're getting to them. Anil Nandalal, you came out and you talk about levying more charges on the 3 men from the MV Barima. You talk about levying more charges on the 3 men, the 3 public servants with regards to the MV Barima tragedy. And I ask the question to you, Anil Nandalal, can you please provide us with an update on the murder execution that I believe was committed by the government of Guyana on Courtney Crum Ewing? Do you have knowledge of the murder execution of Courtney Crum Ewing? We want answers. I will not stop inquiring about Courtney Crum Ewing. I want answers, Anil Nandalal. Anil Nandalal and the PPP, I want answers. with regards to the debt. We want answers. We, this collective right there, over to you, wants answers on the debt of our brother, Courtney Crum Ewing. And you might as well give us answers on Mr. Ronald Waddle simultaneously. We want to know. We want to know, to the international community, if you are not aware, the PPP, you understand me, has executed so many Guyanese during the 90s and the early 2000s. When there was no social media, they were executing Guyanese right and left, cutting up their body parts, burying them with other people, and doing all kinds of things to Guyanese. That is what the PPP cabal was doing. They are a murderous institution. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we must invoke the spirits of our fallen brothers to come out and make this government talk. You have hurt Guyanese. The PPP has hurt Guyanese in every way possible. Every way possible. From an education perspective, they took away university from them. From them. Look, ladies and gentlemen, what the PPP would have done with the President's College. Look at what the PPP would have done with the President's College, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Look what they've done to President's College. The PPP, ladies and gentlemen, one of their future plans is to wipe away the history of the Africans in Guyana. All right? Thank you, Miss Eva Garnett. Thank you. I will stay and I will fight with you guys as long as possible. We are going to fight. We need the combined opposition to join us in this fight. All right? To join us in this fight. The people of Melanie do not accept anything from this government. All right? What James Bond is saying, we trying to stymie development. No, we're not trying to stymie development. What we are saying is that you don't come out looking for no government outreach to try to deflect from a tragedy, you understand me, that was caused by government incompetence. That's what we're trying to say. We are trying to say that this is not the time for that. And when you're going to be going into villages that are predominantly African villages, let those leaders be present. You guys want to go and talk to the people of Guyana because you're a dictatorship. That's why you want to go and you want your own voices only to be heard. Only dictators like their voices alone to be heard. Irfaan Ali, the Guyanese people are still waiting for you to show them how to farm. Okay? Because when the people them catch out but Farmgate and they capture Farmgate, you was stuttering and misfiring from wherever you was, whether it's Belize or wherever you was talking. Oh. When I come home, I will show the people how to farm. Yeah, right. You're a thief. You're a thief. You don't need to show the Guyanese people anything. You are a common thief. That's what you are. And everyone is going to find you out for what you are. These programs are not going to go anywhere. They stay right on YouTube. They're not going anywhere. Young children that are coming up, they are going to be able to see and listen to this program and know what you are all about, Irfaan Ali. Yes. You guys can't talk anything about me, man. You guys cannot say anything about me because any money that I have, It was earned legally. Every cent of taxes was paid on it. I'm an accountant, so that's going to be paid. I know not to run away from that. Okay? Must be paid. All right? You know something, ladies and gentlemen? It really irks me how we in Guyana sometimes respond to things. Now, this same president was involved in a scheme with a sports car to defraud the GRA. And nothing came out of it. But this DPP was she was swift to come out and institute charges against those poor 3 public servants. Huh? Swiftly. She didn't even hesitate. She was out the blocks. She must look and say, oh, the Africans, oh, they're doomed. They're done. That's all she wanted to see. The DPP is indeed a PPP. That particular sector needs to change. All right? Whenever we're going to have constitutional reform, that needs to change. That needs to become a quorum of 5, a quorum of 3, or whatever. But it must not, it absolutely must not be one person. Must not. That's a sin. That is a sin. Where can you get fairness and equity with that? The DPP is indeed a bloody PPP. Guyanese, we must stand up. We must continue to protest this government. And the ERC, if y'all are looking in, y'all know, don't write me nothing. Don't ever dare write me anything. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Mr. Norris, wait to tell your quorum whenever I'm on. Don't even worry turning on social media. Just relax. Please. All of you guys are responsible for what is happening to the Guyanese people. Some of the unions that fail to come out and align with the opposition. I do not care of anybody's personal issues. I do not care of your personal issues. If you are aligning yourself and you're saying that you're fighting for the people, then you need to go all out at all costs. You don't need to be selective. I understand the laws. Okay? I understand the laws. I understand one's freedom to speak, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And I implore each and every one of you here, not that you're shorting in any way, but never, ever think that when somebody in a higher echelon of government, you know, or from the diplomatic corps says something, you know, it is law or it cannot be challenged. No. I challenge people. It doesn't matter where you stand. I will challenge you. I will challenge you, especially when it comes to people and their well-being. Oh, I will challenge you all the way, tooth and nail. Looking at the time. Oh, 8:31, ladies and gentlemen. We still got a few more minutes because I got on late. I'm so sorry again. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, look, we had a very good week this week. I want to give a big shout out to MP Saiku Andrews also. I have been seeing Saiku and his work. He has taken a real frontal position. You know? MP Nima Flubes, MP Coretta McDonald, see Coretta hustling on the ground in Linden, MP Sharma Rahim Solomon, big call out. Big call out social media presenter, Mr. Conan Marshall, Conan prop abuse. Hey, y'all see the Rasta man who just come out with a red short and that thing that is stack a bundle of bilge? Why, hey, look, Conan Busey, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, Conan Busey. Conan cussy like if there was no tomorrow. And I sitting back home here having a good time. Conan put it on you. Continue your work, Conan Marshall. You, Jason, Asim. Asim is here this evening. Asim, a pleasant good evening to you, my brother. Israel, Theodore, that team. Y'all continue the good work. Right? Keep up the good work. Comrade Duncan with his programs. Mr. Paul Slow. Yes. Expose them, Mr. Slow. Expose them. And hey, to you guys in the Guyana police force, if Dr. Campbell asks you to shake your hand, why you frightened to shake Dr. Campbell hand because you frightened you get transferred? What kind of thing is that? So you're telling me if I come down to Guyana and I want to shake your hand, I can't shake your hand? By the government controlling who and y'all shake to? I tell you, man, y'all gone to a level, man, that I never seen before, man. Come on, Hickin. How you got to boys them like that? Eh? How you got to boys them like that? They ain't even want to shake people's hand. And you guys in the army, y'all make sure y'all don't touch Guyanese citizens, eh? Because y'all ain't supposed to touch them. Make sure that y'all ain't touch them. Make sure to the Guyana Defense Force, make sure that you don't touch your own citizens. Make sure that you don't touch the people that are paying the taxes that is paying your salary. Don't touch them. Make sure that the orders that you're taking is correct. All right? Look up your laws, look up your rules and regulations to the Guyana Defense Force when y'all sit down in the barracks. Open it up and read into it. Okay? Don't touch your own citizens. Y'all should hear how they just be on these programs fighting for y'all where y'all taking fire the Venezuelan border and y'all didn't even own a piece of land in Guyana. Don't burn the bridges that you cross, my friends. Don't do it. Guyana Police Force, y'all need to start shaking the opposition on. All right? Y'all need to start shaking the opposition on. We know that y'all living in a dictatorship. We could see that. We don't need to see any further. All right? And here, when y'all gonna come and put up barricades, y'all have some respect. If there's a community engagement, why can't the opposition be allowed to be in there? They should. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that the government is blocking the opposition from coming into these meetings is simple. This government is not doing right by the people of Guyana. This here PPPC government is not doing right by the people of Guyana. And for once, ladies and gentlemen, they are ashamed of themselves. Again, tonight, I call for those 3 gentlemen to be released from jail expeditiously. They are there wrongfully. They were operating a vessel that belongs to a government entity. They did nothing wrong. They ain't turned the vessel wrong. They wasn't driving indiscriminately, sailing indiscriminately, and hit another vessel. None of the above. So the question I have, why are they in jail with 72 counts of murder? Can the DPP elaborate on this? Because, you know, Mark Benchka put up that face there that I don't even want to look at because it's not a pleasant sight. But I want to ask the DPP to elaborate on that. What books did she look at to derive at those charges? And again, I call on the judiciary of Guyana. I know this is not under your scope at the present moment, but you guys could come out and cry when these things are wrong. But you are all a part of a quorum. You are all together. The entire country is corrupt from top to bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to clean house. Not just the government, the judiciary. Mr. Sanjeev Kissoon, that's not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about a few of you who really does the job. Okay, I'm not talking about you. But for the rest, I'm talking, look, the Chief Justice and everybody. I am talking about all of you. The Attorney General. The Attorney General is garbage in Guyana. The Attorney General is corrupt. We are not. We are not. You guys remember, it was not too long removed. You guys remember the 5 years under the coalition government. You had clean running water. All right. Comrade Vincent Jordan, you're very familiar with this because you were a GWI. You were one of the leaders there that made sure that the Guyanese people got clean water to bathe and drink. All right. You made sure that there was proper water pressure. You made sure that even when you had new schemes opening up, that you as a coalition government moved expeditiously to make sure that those new schemes had running water and electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, I was down in Guyana 2012 under the PPPC, and it was blackout galore. All right? It was blackout galore. Thank you, my cousin. Don't eat any fish. It's not good right now. Don't touch it. Yes, it was blackout galore. And then I returned to Guyana back in 2017, 2016, 2017, and 2019 under the coalition government. Ladies and gentlemen, Guyana was good. We were going in the right direction. The lights were on consistently. You had water pressure to bathe. The shower was running. I was like, wow, I never expected running shower in Guyana. But I got it for those years that I was there under the coalition government. All right. I was watching the protest this afternoon. This afternoon, I was watching the protest is where? On the East Bank, man, Grove. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Grove. I want to give a big shout out again to Dr. Campbell, Comrade Sekou Andrews, and MP Nemo Flubes. I saw the three of them out there, again, putting up a fight there at Grove. But, you know, in looking, you know, the video takes you all over the place. I look and I saw a light pole. Basically, like, the light pole is here, and then the sidewalk. Usually, it's the sidewalk and the light pole more towards the gutter. But it looked like if these light poles are shifting out more and more towards the middle of the road. And I asked myself, you know, what kind of work is this? You know, what kind of work is this? You wouldn't see that on the an APNU-led coalition, all right? Or that coalition that we had from 2015 to 2020. Quick update. African brothers and brothers particularly. Hey, man, how you guys stabbing up each other like that? What's up, man? What's up? If you guys don't have regard to your own life, how you expect other or other ethnic groups gonna value your life? You see how the Africans are already treated in Guyana. You know, when you guys go about stabbing and murdering each other, what do you think? They're gonna think it's just okay to shoot y'all down because they're gonna look at all of you and call you guys hooligans. All right, we need to temper our behaviors out there, brothers. And to the young brothers out there, man, all right, forget the gang activity. Forget the gang activity, man. All right, look to have a positive future, man. You can do it. Trust me, you can do it. I know sometimes you look out there and you say, well, look, what's there to get out there? Look how the government treat my kind. Yes, you can. I understand when you look at things from that perspective, right? You know that you can't walk into a procurement process and get a contract because you don't have the necessary resources to do road and do sidewalks and do all that. All the big contracts is going out to who, ladies and gentlemen? Nigel Darmlal. You guys remember that PPP minister with the little girl, Nigel Darmlal? Well, he's the one that's getting the contracts. when you want to talk about friends, family, and favorites. All right? When you want to talk about friends, family, and favorites, that's why they can't let the opposition into the meetings. Because they don't want the opposition to confront them. They know that they're doing wrong to the people of Guyana. But Guyanese, again, I call on you guys to open your eyes, smell the coffee, man. Understand what is happening. All right? It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't pay for you to take a little, maybe $100,000 or whatever it is to go and hug up with the president and say, my president is handsome. You're not doing anything for your people there. All right? You might be getting a little bottom line for yourself, but ask yourself, how long is that going to last? And then ask yourself, what did I just do? Okay? 2 questions for you. So you guys could smile up and stuff. You know, the same president that y'all hug up with and everything, all right, had 19 fraud charges against him. Okay? There's nobody right now on this live that have any fraud charges. I want to go out and say that. Okay? I want to go there and say that. And I close off this evening by saying this, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what we do, okay, or how we do it, we need to get it right. There are some few key things that we need to understand when we look at leadership. That money is not going to equal to good leadership. Good leadership comes from a special place. Okay? It comes from a special place. That person have to have the desire and the ambition, okay, to want to lead the nation, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. All right? And you guys know, man, we here on Over to You, we got to be objective. Any party that's going to lead this country is going to lead for all the people. We have to change this narrative. All right, we have to really change the narrative where we are addressing issues and this voting along ethnic lines. Let's address issues. I always say, let us have debates in Guyana. Let us have debates. Debates should be mandatory. People want to know what their leaders have up their sleeves for them. What do you plan to do to change poverty, the poverty level in Guyana? What do you want to do to bring about a better education system? What are we going to do to really change the narrative of our government services when it comes to water and electricity? All right? These are the things that we want to see. These are the changes that we want to see. And ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of tonight's program again, to all on sundry, the people of Guyana want their country back. We are not chasing any investors out of Guyana. We are not chasing the diplomatic corps out of Guyana. We want you here. We want you here. But what we want a government in place that will do right by all our citizens. No matter race, no matter class, no matter gender, no matter financial, economic standing. Okay? That is what we are looking for. And I close by saying that we would have missed the trick in 2025. And I'm not taking back anything that I had to say with regards to what would have occurred in 2025, because it is the absolute truth. All right? Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I love you. Oh, yes, I do love you. I say over to you. Take good care of yourselves and family. And I say good night.